my name is Rehema Isa. I'm a slasher. I don't believe that I confine into any boxes. I own a company called Hadithi Media, and I'm also a co-founder of an organization called Oya. Hadithi Media is a social impact company, and in the last year, we've really defined what social impact is. And our mission is actually to get youth into a future fit mindset. What does that mean? It really means connecting with youth to be solutionist thinking and to be involved in the communities in terms of not just identifying what the challenges are that they're facing, but being very strategic in terms of actually being the agents of change to implement solutions that are practical. We work on 4 principles, and we're working with grade 10 learners and to grade 12. And the principles really are around making sure the kids are physically fit and embody a lifestyle of physical fitness, emotional fitness, being astute as to where they are at emotionally, and also being very conscious of the impact that they have on themselves and impact on their world. And also asking them to be more mentally fit, and by being mentally fit, we're actually asking our youth to be more curious, to be more engaging with their world, more exploratory in terms of what the world has to offer and their role in identifying and just finding out a lot more about their environment. So the other opportunities for me is not just working with youth, but my other environment that I love to work with is women. And through Oya that we've co-founded, we've come up with a concept called Womenomics Africa. And it's really women engaging and driving in the growth story that is Africa. Africa currently trades with each other at 10 to 16% of trade is intra-continent. It is said that if we increase this trade to 25%, we're going to unlock $3 trillion worth of business. We understand that if we can put women at the heart of unlocking this trade, we would not only have made sure that women are at the heart of Africa's growth story, but would make sure that we're not at the backseat of this growing phenomenon of the next billion, the next trade opportunity, the next Africa opportunity, and women are actually sitting at the forefront. In terms of the youth, the gap that we are fulfilling is really one about solutionist thinking. We tend to have environments where our youth are exposed to coaching and development insofar as they need to pass their exams. Post-exams, the reality is that most of these kids are not going to end up university, they're not going to end up in structured employment. So unless our youth start looking at themselves as problem solvers, they're going to be victims of their circumstances as opposed to understanding what role they can play as architects. So for our youth, it's really making sure that they have the right skills and personal development and EQ, coaching and development that makes them much better custodians of their own future. In terms of women, it's actually making sure that we are facilitating an opportunity where women are no longer sitting at the back seat and waiting for invitations to participate in the mega $1 trillion business or mega $1 trillion trade that's happening on the continent. I think what we're doing wrong is continuously, in South Africa particularly, the conversation is about growing entrepreneurs, small business development, and I think that's very misplaced. We can no longer afford to look at ourselves as entrepreneurs in one economy. Unless we are Africans looking at doing business with the rest of Africa as our starting point, we've lost the plot. We will only do business with 57 million people if we locate our business in South Africa alone. The continent provides an opportunity of 1.28 billion, 51% of which is women. So unless we're sitting as entrepreneurs already looking at the economic opportunities that the continent represents, we're already lost in the water. What inspires me is, I always say that I stand on the shoulders of giants. I am here because of women who open doors. So I have young daughters, and I want that in 20 years' time, when they're having this conversation that I had in 1995 when the Beijing conference was happening, seeing the doors that were being opened and sitting here, I want my daughter in 20 years' time to know that the doors were open because of me and not have to fight these battles. And where you can find me, I'm on Twitter at Rehema Isa and on Instagram at Rehema Isa.